What is up, Pats Nation? It is Patriots Global back here with another video, and in this video, I am going to be giving you guys two names, two separate players on the Patriots right now that they could trade, get some extra draft capital for, maybe get some players for, but guys who legitimately have a reason to get traded and will actually provide as guys who can give the Patriots some actual legitimate draft capital or some legit players. I really went through and dug the entire Patriots team, looked at the depth chart at guys who could get traded, and I didn't want to be like, this guy could get traded. I wanted to really make this interesting, make it as true and realistic as possible. And honestly, it only came down to two guys. Everyone else, one, is just that important to the team, or two, just isn't really guys I see having much of a trade value. So number one is left guard Joe Tooney. And some of you guys right now are probably like, whoa, what are you talking about, Joe Tooney? Joe Tooney has not missed a single game for the Patriots. Hasn't really missed a snap for the Patriots. Is extremely healthy, provided very good protection, and is very good in the run game. Why the heck would the Patriots trade him? Well, it actually makes a lot of sense that the Patriots could trade him because this is a guy who is in his contract year. As we all know, the Patriots like to do two things with guys in contract years. Either one, trade them, or two, trade for them. The Patriots already look like they drafted Joe Tooney's replacement in a guy like a Yannick Just, or I'm sorry, not Yannick Just, a Yelda Froholt. Yannick Just is the tackle. And because Joe Tooney is still fairly young, he's proven he has time in the NFL, not to mention he has time with the Patriots, and because he is one of the better guards in the league, he already will have very nice value. And because he is in his contract year, once he gets to the end of this season, there are going to be teams that will value him way higher than the Patriots will give him money that the Patriots definitely won't. And it's actually being reported that the Patriots are not going to open up contract talks with him until after the season is over. And that is a very deadly thing to do. It just kind of shows that maybe they aren't extremely high on him, but I don't really see the Patriots getting to get him re-signed if they let him start to hit the free agency market. He's also pretty undersized weight-wise when it comes to being a guard, 287 pounds. So the Patriots would be getting a better guy, I believe, in terms of a build with a Yelda Froholt than they would be with a Joe Tooney. Now, I'm definitely not trying to knock on Joe Tooney. I like him. I love his ability that he is able to stay so healthy that the Patriots don't really have to worry about him going down. But in the end, I also don't see the Patriots paying him big bucks, and I don't see him taking a huge pay cut in order to just stay with the Patriots. The Patriots have the ability to replace him already now. In my opinion, I would love for them to give Yelda Froholt some time to develop, some time in the league to learn and see what things are like, kind of work out his techniques. I would love that. But at the same time, he's a guy that they could also plug in if they need to. There's teams around the NFL that really are looking to build better offensive lines, teams that need to build better offensive lines if they want to have a good season. So you could really get something good for Joe Tooney, somewhere between, I believe, a fourth, third, maybe a second rounder, but that might be pushing it. Whether the Patriots decide to trade him or not, I quite honestly do not see Joe Tooney being a Patriot after this season. Alright, so next up is Rex Burkhead. This is a guy we've talked about a lot. I've already talked a little bit about him being traded, but I didn't want to go in about it, too much, as I already planned on making this video. But the Rex Burkhead trade actually makes a good amount of sense after the Patriots drafted running back Damien Harris in this past draft. Now, both Rex Burkhead and Damien Harris are very similar running backs. They're actually the same height. They have very, very similar builds when it comes to weight. They're not that far off. I believe it was actually less than 20-pound difference. So they're literally like the exact same build. They serve, again, the same purpose. Guys who can play more of that power back position, hardcore runners, faster type of runners while also being able to do so. But in the end, I think the Patriots are getting a better value with Damien Harris. Damien Harris is a lot younger, and I believe he will also be a better pass blocker if he, gets a little bit more time to learn, and also can be a very good threat in the passing game, for Tom Brady, a guy who can really do these dump-offs. Damien Harris is really, really good at holding on to the ball, so I see Brady having so much trust in him, a guy that will not really lose Brady's trust. He doesn't fumble. He's also a guy that stays really healthy. He has not had an injury history. Now, of course, he's going to the NFL. That could change, but I quite honestly don't see that happening. As where you have a Rex Burkhead, a guy who is getting older, his development has really kind of just stopped. As where Damien Harris, his development will continue to go up. And Rex Burkhead has had some issues with the Patriots not being able to hold on to the ball. You've seen that he has lost some of the trust that Tom Brady has put into him, especially after coming back from his injuries last season, resulted in some interceptions for Brady. And because the Patriots have him signed under contract for the next couple of years and for not that much money, I could see teams truly trying to jump on him. Of course, that could also mean that the Patriots will keep him because he doesn't have a huge cap hit towards, the cap. But at the same time, they will also be, wasting a roster spot on him if they decide to keep him. And if they place him on the IR, keep in mind the Patriots can only take 2 guys off the IR. So that means, 1, the Patriots bring Rex Burkhead back if he gets put on IR. But that also means another guy cannot be brought back, or that means his entire season would be over. I like Rex Burkhead, do not get me wrong, but at the same time, when you have a guy that is pretty much a replica of what he is doing for the Patriots, but more of a 2.0 replica, there's not too much of a point of keeping a Rex Burkhead, especially because you already have Sony Michel, a guy who is going to be taking the majority of the snaps. And where truly does the rotation come in for a Sony Michel, James White, Rex Burkhead, and a Damien Harris? Just let me know. I truly think there would be some teams willing to make a trade out there for a Rex Burkhead, but I don't think they're going to get anything too high for him. I think they could get a third, might be pushing it, but anywhere between, a fourth and a fifth. But that is it for today's video. What are your guys' thoughts on these 2 guys and them possibly being traded? Now, when I say possibly, I want to make note of this, that the Patriots have not said that they have interest in trading either of these, but guys who it would make sense for them to trade. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, make sure you guys like and subscribe. This helps me, the channel, even you guys out very, very, very much. Make sure you guys share this video with everybody who knows and go to the Patriots Global family. And other than that, I will catch you guys in another video.